Hey, what's up, classic TV and movie fans? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the Rob Zombie Munsters remake movie. So sit back, relax, let's take a look at some photos that he just dropped. These are 9 photos. Now, this first one has been seen before, but I want to give a little bit of an intro and let you know that this movie is in production. So any of the things that you see are from Rob Zombie, but any of the things that I'm guessing at or I'm speculating on are just that, okay? So if you say Rick9G says, hey, there's a skull back there, that means that will be in the movie. You don't see it. It's not that I'm lying, it's that, hey, we're just speculating different things. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the first image and see what we could see, because there's a lot that's been revealed. Now let's look at the first image here. What I find really interesting about it is that it's an unfinished look at an interior. Now we can't quickly assume that this will be the Munsters' home or residence. I at first thought it was that, but now that I take a look at it more, I mean, look at the high ceilings. I mean, it almost looks like a type of a church or some type of build. Like, this doesn't look like a home. Like, the Munsters' home was wooden from the inside, right? The beams were not like this. So while some of the decor you may see was Munster-esque, remember, this is just for the movie. It could be many different locations. I want to know your thoughts down below. Now again, to me, this doesn't look like the inside of the Munsters' home. It's very decorative. I mean, look at all the just the molding on the top side, how intricate and detailed it is, all the marble look. To me, this reminds me, in fact, it kind of looks like the same location of Batman Begins. Take a look. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but you have to admit it's the same or similar vibe, definitely, of like the staircase. Or is it? Is it the same? I don't know. But either way, yeah, this doesn't look like the Munsters' home to me. It looks too clean, too Marvel-esque. To me, it looks like maybe it could be like another castle, maybe Count Dracula, Grandpa's castle. I don't know. But again, this is from the Munsters movie, so it's kind of mysterious, but also interesting at the same time. Now this is good. Now we're progressing. I mean, let's start from the left. There are, of course, people in this home. This to me looks more like the Munsters' home, but then again, look at the other room where those 3 individuals are on the right-hand side. It's just interesting because you can see the top, the molding is so decorative. To me, kind of not like the Munsters' home, but then also it kind of looks like it because you see a coffin here, it's opened up. I thought that was for someone to sleep in or something like, but no, there's a skull on top, and then you also see like shelves. So these shelves, you put things in, so it's more like an armoire, type of a wardrobe. You see some fancy armoire, another armoire kind of behind the ladder that we have there, as well as some beautiful chairs. Now the wiring that you see on the floor on the right hand side, that's for lights and different things. I would even say the lights in that lamp on the right hand side right below that red curtain hanging from the top, I mean, that's all wired because that's just for the movie and so forth. But we're made to seem like it's like just they're just on, right? And then if you look, there's also a candelabra in the background. A lot of interesting molding along the side in the wood. It looks very inlaid. Remember, this is a prop for a set, right? Scenery. So a lot of the materials that you think they are, they're not. They're just made to look really expensive and nice and fancy. Very impressive so far. Now this looks like another room. Some people have said that this looks like a parlor, like a I don't know how to explain it, but like a mortuary parlor. I don't know. You definitely see a skull in the middle of the table. You see, right, like a phonograph with a big, right, speaker there. You see some very fancy chairs. Again, not, I mean, Munsters world, but it doesn't look like the Munsters home to me. You see a statue on the left-hand side. Very nice marble going up the top, different colors, right? This looks very rich. Remember, the Munsters weren't by any means a rich family like the Addams family. They were more down to earth with a mansion-like home, but was really old. But they were everyday, right, 9-to-5 type working class family. On the right-hand side, beautiful paintings, even some melting candles, tons of melting candles on the table there. Remember that there will be other characters like Dr. Wolfgang and many others that were added by Rob Zombie, new characters. And so this could be their home. They stop by at this other person's home. Maybe the Munsters take a trip somewhere. They drive in their Dracula or in, you know, their vehicle, and then they end up somewhere in some other person's home. Account. I don't know. I'm just, again, making this up, but this doesn't necessarily have to be the Munsters home. It was never billed by Rob as that. That is, he never put it in the caption that this is the Munsters home. So I do want to make that very clear. A little creepy here with that dummy right in the middle. I don't know if that's done for lighting or anything, but there is a person, a crew member behind the dummy in like a mask and face shield and lighting, probably working on some type of lighting rigs and things behind. It's the same image from before. It's that blue background, that blue kind of parlor looking area that we saw in the previous picture if you want to go back. But yeah, look at the rug. Now those sandbags down there are used to weigh things down, machinery and lighting rigs and things like that. But I love the intricacy of what we're looking at. Now this looks a lot more like the Munsters home, but then again, I look at the ceilings and that to me doesn't say Munsters home. Or maybe they moved out of their original home into this one, and for some reason maybe they struck it rich and this is what they bought. I don't know. Again, these are many plots. You get to see the electric chair right in the center, just off center to the left, a globe. You even see like one of those carts on the bottom right hand side, right, that like a butler would bring in with your food with the dome, right? He pulls the dome out. Here's the electric chair that he showed us before in another image, and we thought maybe it was like Grandpa's chair. That's where he read from. But then if you come back to the original image, you can see that that's pretty much the same chair. So again, is this Grandpa's castle? Maybe it is. I mean, Grandpa's chair, Grandpa's castle. I mean, I like going with that theory. Looks like the same room, just maybe lit a little differently. Things moved around a little bit, but I really love that chair. I mean, look at the details on there with the bat, right? The big bat wings out there. And to me, again, it's lending back to maybe this is Grandpa's original castle or Transylvania castle before they went to Mockingbird Lane. I don't know. Lots of speculations here. I love the books. I mean, the books, even on the top shelf, the second row on the left, you can see the books are kind of falling. So it's not just like an even look. Like it looks like those are really books in there. And again, it looks very authentic. I love the two lamps. I love the window, the stained glass window. Very, very pretty. More lighting rigs here. Now, the more I see it, the more it looks to me like probably Grandpa's castle or something like that. Maybe not scary enough, but it looks more royal-esque, if that makes sense. And that is not Munsters to me. Maybe it's Dr. Wolfgang's castle because he had money, right? The creator of Herman Munster, in this case, in the story. I don't know, guessing here. Beautiful paintings on the left, maybe Vlad the Impaler, not sure. If you look down on the ground, there's a couple dummies, a couple mannequins that are just lying on the ground there. Of course, some lighting rigs, some wiring, some beautiful chairs right in the center, just on the bottom right-hand side. Beautiful chair that's kind of like diamond, but then it's circular on the back end, which is really interesting as well. And then finally, that same room, just from a different image where we saw that coffin wardrobe that I pointed you about with the shelves. On the right-hand side, you also see the candled table. That, I mean, if you really zoom in there, it really looks like the candle, all the candles are melting, like the wax is going down. So very Dracula-esque to me, very mansion-esque, very, very cool. Images, of course, very cool drapery. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. There were a lot of images, 10 images, but 9 that Rob Zombie put on there. I'd love to know your thoughts. Any favorite image, anything you saw that I missed? There's a lot here. Like, this is like an I Spy thing where you can probably find things the more you look at the pictures. But I wanted to give you an idea of what we're looking at, an idea of what rooms are going to be in the movie, and decide, well, what are these for? We'll have to take a look. Thank you so much for the support. As always, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you to everyone for the support, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Citizen K359, David D, Greg S, Kevin K, Ricky, Sally N, Ulysses the P, and Vito L. If you want to join the Patreon family, links are in the description. Thank you.